Our story is The Legend of Slappy Hooper, an American Tall Tale by Aaron Shepard.
You've heard about Paul Bunny and the greatest lumberjack of all time.
And you've heard about Pecco Pill and the greatest cowboy.
Now let us tell you about the world's
Biggest,
fastest
Bestest.
sign painter.
That's me, Slappy Hooper.
you better believe Slappy was biggest. Why, he was 7 feet tall with shoulders to match, and he weighed 300 pounds even without his cap and coverall and brush and bucket.
And fastest?
Just give me an 8-inch bush.
Slip,
Slop.
Slap.
The job was done.
And so smooth, you never see a brush stroke.
And you bet Slappy was the bestest. That was on account of his pictures.
No one else ever made him so true to life.
In fact, some folks said they were too true to life.
Slappy's trouble started with a huge red rose he painted on the sign for Rose's flower shop,
Slappy, it's so real.
said Miss Rose Red, the owner.
Why, I can just about smell the fragrance. But a week later, Rose Red fluttered into Slappy's sign shop. Slappy, that sign of yours was too good.
Too good?
That's right, the bees got wind of it and swarmed all over that rose trying to get in. They scared away all of my customers. That was bad enough, but wait till you see what happened now.
When they reached the flower shop, Slappy saw the bees were gone, but the rose had withered and died.
No one buys from a florist with a withered flower on her sign. That's the last thing you'll paint for me, Slappy Hooper.
The story got around, but most folks just laughed, and they still wanted Slappy to do their signs.
His next job was to paint a billboard for the Eagle Messenger Service. Slappy painted an eagle 3 times larger than life.
Amazing!
Said Mr. Baldwin Eagle.
It's so real. I swear I saw it plane. Wait a minute, I did see a plane. Then the bird flapped its wings and flew right off the billboard. That sign of yours was too good. That's the last time you'll work for me, Slappy Hooper.
Folks were getting scared to hire Slappy, but at last he got a job from the Sunshine Travel Agency.
The billboard was to show a man and a woman on a beach, toasting under a hot sun. Slappy painted it the day after a big snowstorm.
Wonderful.
Said Mr. Ray Sunshine.
Why, that sun makes me feel hot. And look, the snow is melting off the sidewalk.
But a couple of days later, Slappy got a call.
Slappy, your sign is too good. Get down here right away.
When Slappy arrived, he saw that the sidewalk and street in front of the billboard were covered with beach chairs. People sat around in swimsuits and sunglasses, sipping lemonade and splashing suntan.
They're blocking traffic, and the mayor blames me. Besides, they won't need my travel agency if they're taking their vacations here. You've got to do something, Slappy.
So Slappy set up his gear and got to work. He painted the sun on the billboard much hotter. Before long, the crowd was sweating buckets and complaining of sunburn. Then everybody packed up and left.
Good work, Slappy. Look at that.
The man and the woman on the billboard were walking off too.
Just then, a lick of flame shot off the wall, off the building across the street. Slappy's sign had set it on fire. In a few minutes, fire trucks clanged up the firefighters turned hoses on the flames.
Slappy, try something else.
Slappy got back to work and painted a storm cloud across that sun, but he had to jump clear when the cloud shot bolts of lightning.
Then the storm broke.
Slappy's cloud rained so hard, the billboard overflowed and flooded all of Main Street.
Never again, Slappy Hooper.
After that, no one on earth would hire Slappy. It looked as if his sign painting days were done.
Slappy felt so low, he made up his mind to throw his paint kit in the river. He dragged it onto the tallest bridge in town and was just about to chuck it when a voice thundered out beside him.
Don't dump that here, Slappy. You're gonna need it.
Right next to Slappy stood a man almost as big as Slappy himself. He wore a paint-splotched white coverall and a cap with 2 little angel wings sticking out. He carried an 8-inch brush.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Michael from the Heavenly Sign Company. The boss had an eye on you for some time, Slappy, and he likes your work. He's got a job for you, if you don't mind working in the rain.
Tell me about it.
We need someone to paint a rainbow this Wednesday. Most of the time we handle rainbows ourselves. This time it's going to rain in a bunch of places Wednesday. We could really use some help.
I'm ready,
said Slappy.
That Wednesday morning, Slappy rented a cannon and set it in a big cow pasture. He tied 2 ropes to a scaffold, then ran the other ends through a couple of skyhooks, then he loaded the skyhooks in the cannon and shot them straight up.
boom!
Sure enough, the skyhook was caught on the sky.
Slappy felt the first raindrops. He piled all of his paints and brushes onto his scaffold, climbed on, hoisted himself up, and up. He kept going until he was just under the clouds. Then he tied his rope and started to paint.
Slip!
Slop,
Slap.
he had only just finished when the sun popped up through the clouds and lit up what he had done.
There never was a finer rainbow. It had every color you could imagine, each one blending perfectly with the next.
And not a bus stroke in sight.
Just then, Slappy felt a big jolt. He looked up to see what caused it.
Oh no!
The sun had ran smack into the skyhook.
Slappy shut his eyes and waited for the long drop to the ground. But it never came. When Slappy looked again, he saw why.
For heaven's sake!
Slappy's hooks had caught on the sun itself, and the sun was pulling his rig across the sky.
Now, another sign painter may have been frightened, but not Slappy Hooper. He was enjoying the ride.
He'd covered a good distance when Michael appeared on the scaffold beside him.
The boss liked your rainbow, Slappy.
You mean it? It wasn't too good?
If it isn't too good, it's not good enough. That's how we figured. Anyhow, now that you're here, the boss has another job for you.
Tell me!
If you don't mind working odd hours.
Tell me about it.
It's the sunrise and sunset. I guess you know. The boss himself has been painting them since time began. But he's done it so long, he'd like to give someone else a chance.
I'm ready.
Said Slappy Hooper.
Slappy's been up there ever since.
Of course, you can't see him with the sun so bright, but he's there all the same.
Night and day, sun pulls Slappy and his rig around the world. And every time Slappy comes to a horizon, he reaches up with his 8-inch brush,
Slip!
Slop,
slap.
the job is done.
And never a bus stroke in sight. I think I made it.